So now I get to do a nice big clean out on this beautiful fish pond.
Okay, so the first time that I met this pond, you couldn't really see into the water at all. The algae was so severe. So what we did, we put some marine pure balls in there in the bags, and we put a larger sponge on it. So we also added a Aquarium all-in-one pond filter, which contains a UV. Now this has been very effective because now the water clarity is actually very clear, but the bottom of that pond is completely full of dead algae. So whereas that algae was in the water, now the algae is dead and just lying on the bottom. So we need to siphon that out because we don't want it to go anoxic. The fish are doing absolutely fine. Now see the fish with the fluffy white bit on its face? That may be a type of herpes virus. So normally I'd recommend getting rid of those fish because it is a contagious disease. And the fact that these other fish have been with that fish exposes that fish to a herpes virus, which means even if they aren't showing signs, they may be carrying the virus. So in a perfect world, you would probably start again with your fish. That would mean emptying the pond out, drying it, and then getting new fish. On the other hand, if you don't want to do that, then I would probably recommend disposing of that one, which has got the visible signs of it, and then just be aware that the other fish are likely to be fine. If their immune system falls, they might break out with a sort of herpes sort of virus as well. And then I'd just be conscious about adding other fish, because you don't want to add other fish and expose them to a herpes virus if they don't have it already. So if you get other fish from a herpes virus pond, then sure, you can have a little herpes virus party. But that's something that you can decide. So in the meantime, we need to get this pond nice and clean. There's a lot of debris on the waterfall I need to clean. And the first project really is prepare to remove the fish, because by the time we vacuum all this out, we don't want the fish in there. So it'll be nice and challenging. But on the other hand, it is a beautiful day for it. So it's a nice day to do this job, except the water's freezing because it's winter here in Sydney. So job one is give the waterfall a bit of a clean. We definitely want to clean the waterfall before we start cleaning the pond, because obviously the waterfall is going to make the junk from the waterfall is going to make its way into the pond. That way when we clean the pond, we can clean all the crap from the waterfall. So what I'm doing now is netting the fish out so they don't get vacuumed. But while I'm doing that, I'm also going to be trying to remove as much debris as I can, because all this stuff will just clog my vacuum up. So it's much easier to just spend a bit of time getting all this crap out while I'm getting the fish out before this stuff clogs my vacuum up. Okay, so now I'm going to start the vacuum. So what I'll do is systematically go through the pond, and this will vacuum all the algae and all the crap out of the bottom of the pond. The fitting on the end means that I shouldn't really suck any fish up. And in the meantime, when I get an opportunity to catch more fish, I will. These fish are very fast and very smart. And obviously visibility is terrible now that I started mucking around in there. So as the water goes down, I'll slowly get the fish out. But you can see by the colour of this clear tube, and obviously the colour of the water, that the amount of crap that we're getting out is unbelievable. So if you are thinking about putting in a fish pond, or anything at all, putting a nice cabana or something for your red-headed friends to make sure they don't get sunburnt is highly advisable. Because you might be enjoying your backyard, but just think of your red-headed friends that should really be in the pub, because us redheads, we get burnt in Australia walking through the backyard. So we should really stick to the pub. If you want to see us, then invite us to the pub. Definitely don't invite us to the beach, otherwise we'll end up like a burnt lobster. And if you are going to have any nice features outside, get yourself a nice cabana, just so your red-headed friends can enjoy life too. Don't be racist to redheads. So when you are doing jobs like this, where you're emptying the pond, sometimes that is a good opportunity to give it a reseal if you think it's due for it. So at the moment I'm just netting out heaps and heaps of leaves, because this much leaves getting netted out is enough to clog the vacuum up. Then I've got to get out, got to clean the vacuum. So it's easier to try and net out the leaves, because it's much quicker to empty the net than empty the vacuum. So the other thing I've learned from this project is these fish are very fat. So particularly considering it's winter, they really don't need feeding, because fish don't lose weight very quickly in winter, and they don't tend to be as active in winter. So in winter, you hardly have to feed your fish. I wonder why this pipe wasn't bloody black. I don't know why they chose green, white, so it stood out so much. So I have to be very careful doing this job. You can see those trees behind me. They're very famous for drop bears. So I need to be keeping my wits about me, because at any time, out of those trees could drop an Australian drop bear and my life could easily be at danger. If my reflexes are quick enough, I could grab him and drown him in the pond, because drop bears are not famous for swimming. But I have to be very careful. Wish me luck. So progress at this stage is quite good. I'm pulling out lots of pebbles, and we'll only return pebbles to go on here to try to hide these dog's balls that are sticking out here. We don't want any extra pebbles in there that we don't need, because that's just more area for the crap to build up. So what I'm going to do now is just put a little bit more water in it, break up all that sludge a little bit more, and then go back to sucking. So it's going very well. Just all takes time. But getting this done every now and then means the pond's going to be awesome. We'll buy some more. The fishies are doing well. Every now and then we got to give them a little shake just to make sure that we're letting oxygen in there. Now, I'm trying to get a pond perfect is a complete waste of time, especially under all these residual trees. So playing a game called Get Every Last Bit of Dirt and Every Last Leaf out of the pond is going to waste everyone's time, but we've got it pretty damn clean now. So all that I'm doing now, starting to fill the pond up. Then we'll decorate around this set of balls here, like a ball bag sitting on the bottom of the pond for some reason. At least I'll decorate the ball bag and try to cover it up. And we're now officially filling the pond again. Very fulfilling experience. Now, if you wanted this algae gone and you didn't want a gurney, the other thing you could do is consider leaving the pond dry for a day or so, because if you allow this algae to dry, then the sun will actually bleach the algae off. But in this case, we don't have the time. But next time we could consider that. We are keen to get the fish back in. So what that's going to involve is refilling the pond, treating the pond, and then reacclimatizing the fish. Very good fun. Very rewarding. Very hard work. So I put some pebbles in the bottom just to hide that white pipe. And we're slowly refilling the pond. It takes time, so I'm very happy with this result. We're just filling the pond now. We've just got to be patient now. But it's lovely and clean. Very happy with this result. We can't add the biomedia back in until we've treated the water, because it's important we keep the good bacteria. And the good bacteria in here will be fine as long as it stays moist. If it dries bone dry, you'll lose the bacteria, but the way that is will stay very moist. And then if you do want to wash your balls, the way that you wash your balls is just grab your ball bag and then very gently lower it in and out of some water that you've removed from the pond. So you don't want to be too vigorous or rough with your balls, because you don't want to damage your dirty balls. Then after you've given them a bit of a rinse, then put them back in again, and we'll try and sort of stash them up under there so they're not as visible. And then what your balls are doing is acting like a compost heap. So you're going to grow parallel nitrifying and denitrifying bacteria in and around the balls. And these balls will have a very large capacity because that's marine pure. We're nearly there. Very happy with this result. Okay, so now that we've added the water ager, I can put our balls back. Now these two products basically work together. Now this one helps to grow our good bacteria. Now right now we definitely want to use this because we will have damaged our bacteria doing this thing. Now you can get it as right as you want, but a little bit of an overdose isn't going to hurt. So that's going to give us our good bacteria, and the good bacteria is going to break down the waste from the fish. Now, if your pond is running well and nothing has changed, there's no huge reason to keep using this product. If you do a big clean out or a big filter clean or whatever, it's a great product to use just to re-establish our good bacteria. But if you have no ammonia or nitrite, it's not really that important. If you're doing something big or adding more fish or whatever, it's a great thing to add. Now this one is different. This one is bacteria that breaks down sludge and any solids. So every now and then, even if it's every month or even every 3 months, it's better than nothing. Adding a bit of that in is going to add bacteria that isn't naturally establishing. That one, the bacteria will tend to come over time itself. This one, you've actually got to put the bacteria in. Now, the advantage of using this one is you'll find over time just less sediment, sludge, and crap building up in your pond. So they both do different tasks, but they're very, very good. So that one, if you start seeing more crap building up in your pond, then by all means give it another dose. If you ever get ammonia or nitrite, by all means give it another dose. And just giving it a dose every now and then for fun, there's absolutely no harm in that. It's like a good bacteria product that you might have for yourself, or it's just a good idea. One of the very best things for fish's immune system and body slime is GH salts, particularly in this circumstance. After a stressful experience like this, raising the GH salt of the water is a highly advisable idea. Whenever you get your water tested, one thing you want to be testing is GH, and GH salts is what you use to raise the GH. And then separate to GH, but related, is also the salinity. So I also often test salinity, and then if the GH is up and the salinity is not, then I will often add actual salt as well, like as in sodium chloride. So I will add that to the GH salt if need be, because for various species of fish, some more than others, salt is one of the very best things you can do for their immune system. So now that we're refilling the pond, I'm about to add the good bacteria products back in. So every 5 centimeters, I want to add a little bit more water ager. And this one is a very good quality water ager. It's probably my favorite water ager. It's very strong and I get great results from it. The other thing about this particular water ager too, is that if you ever have problems with your fish, if you add a 5 times dose of this, it'll fix most problems, including detoxifying ammonia and nitrite. So that does not mean it gets rid of ammonia and nitrite, but it bonds the ammonia and nitrite so it's not toxic to the fish, so it gives you time to fix it. No matter how long you play around with fish, introducing them back into an environment is always exciting. Watching them explore the environment is absolutely fabulous. And every now and then, giving your situation a little bit of a rearrange, whether it's adding decorations, taking decorations out, adding plants, taking plants out, whatever you do to change the fish's environment changes their world and gives them a whole new place to explore. So I'm a big fan of just swapping things around every now and then for yourself and for the fish. Because whenever you do anything new, you can watch the fish come up and start exploring. So at the moment, we've just got some rocks on the bottom, and the fish will thoroughly enjoy swimming around and exploring that new territory. You can see the GH salts there that are waiting to dissolve. But basically, this has gone very, very well. I'm very happy with it. And we're pretty much beautifully timed because we are going to run out of light very soon. What do you think, love? Hey, good?